sinks, né? A naufrágio de navio, o gato sobreviveu a 3. So they call it o inaufragável, né? Unsinkable Sam. E aí, é só para explicar nesse nome. So, now we're live on YouTube. I will explain a few things about TALKNTALK before we start. Vou explicar um pouquinho sobre a TALKNTALK antes da gente começar. Como vocês já sabem, nós somos uma plataforma de conversação, onde vocês podem vir aqui e conversar em vários idiomas. Today, we're speaking in English about cats. So, let's start. The first question is, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sam, the cat who survived 3 ship sinks, represents the power of resilience and companionship, because he still went to the ships, né? Ele continuava indo. Então, how do you think it represents the power of companionship, do companheirismo, né? So, let's see. Hugo, let's start with you. I know you like cats, so let's start with you.
I think because the cat is, in that case, the unsinkable Sam, bring a company and joy most of when I think it's a water environment. So I can imagine how that is staying in the earth. So I think it have a cat is a nice thing, and I try to make a relation like the animal in therapies, like the cats, dogs, horse, baby. I think the animals works like a therapy for these soldiers.
That's true. Maybe that's why they took the cat, né? Talvez tenha isso. Levaram gato. And by the way, I would hate to have this cat in my ship, because imagine the cat, all the ships that the cat went, they sank, né? Todo o barco afundou, então você vai levar o gato para quê? But they took the cat. Perfect. And you, Márcio, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sam represents the power of resilience and companionship?
I don't know, but I believe that the cat is a wonder of your house, for example. And I believe that the cat think that there's a wonder of the ship too. It needs survival because it's a wonder.
Yeah.
That's true. In the beginning of the video, they even put the cats were treated as gods in the past. They have not forgotten that. Eles não esqueceram isso. They think they are just like that until today. And you, Pedro Leandro, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sam represents the power of resilience and companionship?
In the story, the cat is a great example of resilience for me, as he survived of 3 shipwrecks, as he were indestructible, you know. In fact, the resiliency seems like a miracle for me. But on the other hand, it's possible to note that he creates a relationship with humans. It began as an exchange of interests, but anyway, there is a companionship between they.
Yeah, that's true. Eu achei que você falava between the cat and the human, but you said between them, então tá tudo bem. No, but perfect. That's it. I totally agree with you. Because in the beginning, each animal is friends with a person because of interest, né? Todo animal vira amigo por causa de interesse, né? Comida, carinho, enfim, qualquer coisa. And then they create affection, né? Então se cria um afeto between the human and the pet. Dogs, cats, hamsters.
In case of cats, I think that nowadays is the same relation. I think cats are a few. I don't know how to say in English, but I think that cats is a few interesseiros. But other questions will say about this, and so I think
yes, they are. Mine, at least he is. Meu, pelo menos é. Let's see. And you, Angélica, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sam represents the power of resilience and companionship?
I think that the Sam demonstrated very smart, and the humans like, wow. And it's creating resilience about during the story. And I hope that interests and create the connection and between the human and the cats.
Perfect. That's it. And he was really brave, né? Ele foi muito corajoso aí de sobreviver 3. Negocinho, really smart too. And you, Luis, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sand represents the power of resilience and companionship?
I know the secret. It doesn't like water, so it floats.
That's true. That's completely true. Makes total sense, right? Cats don't like water. So it can be anywhere but in the water. That's true. Perfect. Nice explanation. Perfect. And you, Cynthia, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sam represents the power of resilience and companionship?
I believe the history mostra que show that we showed eu não sei falar. Assim, mostra assim que a gente tem que ter adaptação, né? É que você não entendi muito bem, sabe? Mas pela pergunta deu para entender um pouco o que aconteceu. E a questão do companheirismo. Independente do animal que seja, né? Que nem você comentou, o pessoal comentou, a gente sempre cuidando, dando a comidinha, né? Sempre a gente vai ter eles ali por perto. Às vezes não, porque tem os gatos aqui dos vizinhos que adoram vir aqui em casa. Eu não dou nada para eles, porque eles mijam no meu carro, né? Eu não gosto. Mas eles estão sempre aqui, eu não sei, acho que eles gostam de mim, sabe? Tá sempre aqui no meu quintal, menino. I believe que the cats and the human have one ligação além do físico, não sei, não consigo entender, que a atitude deles assim com os humanos é muito diferente dos cachorros, dos outros animais, é uma ligação diferente.
They are completely weird, eles são muito estranhos.
Eu não consigo entender, mas eles são meio místicos.
My mom thinks the same thing. Minha mãe acha que é um negócio espiritual, ela não gosta muito de gato, não. E ela gosta mais de cachorro. Because she thinks that cats, they are weird. Ela acha que eles são meio estranhos. Sei lá, I don't know what passes through her head. Não sei o que passa na cabeça dela. But she says that dogs are better because cats are weird. Eles são muito estranhos e no sentido espiritual mesmo. Então, eu não que ela acha que gato seja do capeta, sabe? Mas enfim, ela acha que gato é estranho.
Disso
eles gostam de conversar também, né? Esses dias o do vizinho encostou aqui, ele miau, e eu, o que você quer? Ele, miau, miau, miau. Falei, fala, o que você quer? E ele ficou conversando comigo, menina. Juro pra você, foi mais engraçado.
They are smart.
Não dá para entender.
Na mitologia urubá, né, eles consideram que os gatos são babalaôs, que eles testemunharam a existência. Por isso que eles ficam olhando pro nada, sabe? Reflexivo.
Né?
Make sense, philosophers. Philosophers.
Yes.
Anyway, Oriana, how do you think the story of Unsinkable Sam represents the power of resilience and companionship?
Ai, meu Deus. I simulate your mother. This video are... Peraí que eu fiz uma colinha aqui.
Tá bom.
There were a lot of words I didn't know in this video, but I think this cat very resilient. It's very resilient, and all animals are very companionship. Okay. Geralmente todos os animais eles são bem companheiro mesmo, but I don't have what say about this tema que fala, because I don't know any words only.
Don't worry. Você sabe algumas palavras sim. Não para com isso. E se precisar, pode falar português, não tem problema não, que tá tudo
Okay.
certo. Don't worry. Só respirar, ficar calma, vai dar tudo certo. So,
Okay.
let's go to question number 2, guys. Olha só, eu vou fazer a pergunta número 2 para todo mundo aqui, igual eu fiz a 1. Depois eu vou dividir em breakout rooms, tá? Duas breakout rooms, uma aqui e uma com outra pessoa, que eu vou decidir depois, só para a gente conseguir falar mais todo mundo, ok? Então, vamos lá. Question number 2. In what ways do you believe cats have positively influenced human history and vice versa? Because pets, any animal, influenced our history, né? Qualquer tipo de animal influenciou a nossa história, né? Então, de que forma vocês acham que a história do gato influenciou a nossa história? So, let's see. We could see some of the story of the cats, né? A gente conseguiu ver alguma parte da história do gato, então vamos ver aí o que vocês acham. Márcio, let's start with you. In what ways you are thinking about it? Estava pensando nisso?
Exactly.
In what ways so how they influenced us?
I don't know. How about the cats? I believe that the cat show how does work the resilient person, I don't know, or independent person. But sometimes this independence, when the cat cross your legs, for example, need a care, is a link of the independence and the dependence. Is a strange, no? Because the cat sometimes is independent, but sometimes show my independence for your owner, for example. But I don't know, it's difficult, this question.
Yes, it's difficult. I like to bring difficult topics. Gente, hoje, 7 da manhã, o Luiz estava aqui, a gente estava falando de zombie apocalypse. Então, imagina, né? Eu só trago temas de doido. Mas, enfim, it makes sense. Because they are really independent, né? Eles são realmente independentes. And we can learn through that. A gente consegue aprender sobre isso, too. We can learn a few things, né? It's really cool. Perfect, Márcio. And you, Hugo, in what ways do you believe the cats have positively influenced our history?
I think it's like the same individual in the pest control, so the cats, the minds, so really like to catch little animals, but I think it's like rats or any pests, they have a positive influence to mostly in rural areas, so I think it's positive in that way. And so like for child, but cats is not that best animals for childs because they react, so they scratch, but I think it's most for the pest control.
Mm-hmm. Perfect, that's true, because in the past we didn't have I forgot the name in English, but pesticida, né? And then in the past, cats were the ones who hunt, né, bugs in plantations. So they were really useful, né?
And bring back the present, the hats.
Yeah, that's true. Perfect. And you, Angelica, in what ways do you believe cats have influenced our history?
They influenced because the cats are useful for pest control, and exists an exchange, how to say, for interests for human and interest to cat, and this exchange grow the relationship.
Yeah, that's true. They have a bonding, né? Eles têm uma ligação, né? The human and the cat. Perfect. That's true. And in your opinion, Oriana, in what ways do you believe cats have influenced us?
Curious, because I never thought about this, but I think
Eu mais escuto aqui. Nunca pensei.
but I think because the cats are lovely, are resilient. It's so, tipo, por ele ser resiliente, amável, então, I think que, como é que eu falo? Que isso tem influenciado, deixa eu ver, I think que, como é que eu falo aqui, Jesus?
It influenced.
Que has positively, because entendeu? Isso aí.
I could get it, don't worry.
I'm sorry, I need aparecer aqui mais vezes para destravar meu meio.
Preocupa não, tá tudo
Quando eu tô
certo.
sozinha aqui na minha cabeça, eu falo muito, mas quando eu tô aqui com você...
Preocupa não. Todo mundo fica meio nervoso, tá tudo certo. Relaxa, tá tudo bem. Se precisar falar em português, não tem problema. Pode ficar tudo certo. Perfect, but I could get what you said. Deu para entender, tá tudo certo. Don't worry.
Ok, obrigada. Thank you.
You're welcome. And you, Pedro, in what ways do you believe cats have positively influenced human history and vice versa?
According to the video that we saw, when humans and cats meet, they saw benefits in living together. In this point, I agree with Angelica said. And I think that happen nowadays as well. Furthermore, domestic life seems more comfortable for cats, and they are a good company for humans. So I think that is the influence.
Mm-hmm. That's true. We domesticated them and now they don't need to hunt anymore. But if they needed, they would, né? Se eles precisassem caçar, eles iriam. But they don't need. We treat them like babies, né? So they don't need that.
Exactly.
Perfect. And for you, Cynthia, in what ways do you believe cats have influenced us?
That specific story or no?
Cats in general. Como é que eles influenciaram a gente?
Então, before the animals eram selvagens, né? Eu não sei como é que fala, eram selvagens. Então, tá difícil falar inglês hoje esse tema, menina. Então, os humanos descobriram, no caso, por exemplo, os gatos, né? E outros animais, e usaram eles para, como comentou lá, como pesticida, por exemplo. But, conforme o tempo passou, eles perceberam que eles poderiam domesticar os animais, né? Não só usar eles, né, em benefício próprio, mas também ter eles como companhia, né? Aí eu acredito que eles influenciaram nessa parte, assim, da gente não pensar só em usar as coisas, as pessoas, os animais, até os animais, mas ter uma forma de companhia, né? E os gatos, entre outros animais, eles também, como a gente comentou que eles são meio místicos, né? Eles sempre têm alguma coisa especial por trás deles, né? Questão de amizade, companheirismo, né? Os cães também são muito, muito companheiros, né? Então, eu acredito que influenciou nessa parte, assim, sabe? Muita coisa para falar em inglês.
Don't worry, no problem. But you can try next time to say a few things in English, okay? Just a few. But that's it. But I agree with you. Like, we could see that animals, they are not only workers, but they are also living beings that have love, né? Eles são seres vivos que podem amar também, terem um convívio, né? Então, they are really cool. I totally agree with you. And you, Luis, in what ways do you believe cats have influenced us?
A second option, 2 dogs there, because the dogs are so big, brutal, and they need to be leader on the streets, and to people that don't like, that have less time. We don't have time to go to the forest or the street to walk with them, and we have less time to put their food, and you have less time to take their puppies. That there is too much. I have today 2 dogs, but I did 3 dogs and 7 cats. My parents, I don't. They have.
A lot, right? A lot. I can't handle only 1 cat, imagine 7, plus dogs. So complicated.
Yeah, so I can say about it, like, especially because the difference are shout.
Mhm.
And I prefer every time cats. They eat less. They go to walk themselves. They are less brutal. They like care, but not to care. Because if you get to care to them, they go out from you. They don't like.
Mhm. Yeah,
So
that's true.
I prefer cats.
Mhm. Perfect. And dogs, on the other hand, the much caring that you give to them, they like the better, né? Quanto mais carinho você dá pro cachorro, mais ele gosta. O gato, ele quer uma certa distância, né? But they like to, but not that much, que nem você falou. Not that much. So guys, now let's divide into breakout rooms. I would like to ask a volunteer to guide the conversation in the other room. Who is going to be? Quem vai ser o meu voluntário do dia? Eu vou esperar alguém se pronunciar, tá? Eu não vou falar nada, até alguém se pronunciar. É isso. One volunteer, come on, gente. É fácil. Eu sei que o tema é difícil, mas não é tão difícil assim. I need one.
I can.
You can?
I will
Okay.
try.
Okay, nice, perfect. I like those brave ones. Eu gosto de gente corajosa. Vamos lá. Então, eu vou dividir, vai ficar 4 lá e 4 aqui com a Angélica. Aí, Angélica, é só fazer isso aqui que eu tô fazendo mesmo, perguntar, dar sua opinião também. É bem, gente, só bater um papo. Really easy. And then, let's see who I'm going to put there. Okay. 3 and 4. Okay. So, the ones from the breakout room, you can go. The others stay here with me. So, let's continue. Question number 3. Qualquer coisa pode me chamar, hein, gente? Breakout roomers. Vamos lá. Question number 3. If you had to choose one word to describe the bond between cats and humans, what would it be and why? Uma palavra para descrever essa ligação, né? Entre humanos e gatos. What would it be, this word? Márcio, what would it be?
Crazy election, I believe. Because one day the cat don't care about you.
Mm-hmm.
Another day he needs you for the food, or not the food, for the, I don't know, the carinho.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I believe it's a crazy, bond crazy.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. So the word would be curious, right? Or crazy?
Yeah.
One word. Curious or crazy?
Crazy.
Crazy, okay. And Cynthia and Luiz, you can't copy.
Okay, crazy.
Crazy, ok. Então, você tem que falar outras, hein? Não pode ser crazy. Então, vamos ver. Cynthia, if you had to choose one word to describe the bond between cats and humans, what would it be and why?
And mutual interest and true friendship. In this case, no, né? Maioria das vezes. The cats are animals very interesting, né? Então, sometimes they hear, sometimes they estarão lá, né? They are not very apegados, né? Eles não são muito apegados, né? Tem uma relação, mas é uma relação diferente.
So, the word...
É o que eu vejo.
Mas qual que seria a palavra, então? It'll be...
Desapego, né? Tipo friendship, desapego, amizade desapegada, digamos assim.
Okay. A friendship that is not attached. Okay? Friendship attached. And you, Luis, if you had to choose one word to describe the bond between cats and humans, what would it be?
Interest of the cat.
Why?
At first, the cat, we didn't adopted the cat. How can I say domar?
Sorry?
How can I say domar?
Domar? Tipo de domesticar?
Isso.
You can say domesticate.
Yeah, domesticate. We didn't domesticate the cats. The cats, they arrived in us, and we just accepted they. We don't go to them. Different we did it to the dogs.
Perfect. That's true. They are completely different from the dogs, right? If we stop to think, we think they are similar, but they are totally different. São muito diferentes. That's true. So we could hear here, crazy, a word to describe, friendship without attachment, and interest. I would say that the relationship between cats and humans, the word that would define it would be caring, I guess. Carinho. Because, like, I know they have interest. I know they are a little bit crazy and curious. But if they didn't like us, they would leave. Se não gosta da gente, eles vão embora. So if they stay, it's different from dogs, because dogs can't like jump, né? Cachorro não consegue pular. Gato, se quiser ir embora, vai embora. So I guess if they stay, it's because they like us, even though they have this interest. So that's it. They can find food anywhere. Então, acho que realmente se eles ficam porque gostam. I like to believe on that.
There is one. Excuse me. There is one more difference between cats and dogs. The dogs, they destroy your house, not por purpose. They destroy accidentally because they're idiot. But the cats, they destroy your house for proposal.
I didn't know that. Why? Why do they destroy the house? Eu achava que era de sem propósito também, sem querer, não é não?
The cats, they destroy if you see too curious and fun. For example, hit a bottle of glass on the floor. Is fun for them.
Didn't know that. Interesting curiosity. Nice. Okay. So let's go to question number 4. If you could travel back in time and witness the domestication of cats firsthand, a primeira mão você conseguir ver a domesticação dos gatos, what would be the most fascinating aspect of that process for you? Qual que é o aspecto mais fascinante, interessante para vocês de ver a domesticação de um animal? So, Cynthia, let's start with you. What do you think would be the most fascinating aspect of that process? It's a hard one, I know.
I don't think I believe in the moment que eles capturam, pegam the animals, né? Because probably the cats, eles eram selvagens, né? Então, I believe que the moment important and two little difficult, the capturar, his capturar, ou capturar eles. Acredito que seja uma parte mais, assim, que eu gostaria de ver, digamos assim, né? Esse momento de captura e domesticação, né?
When they grab a wild animal, pegam um animal selvagem e colocam dentro de casa. Inside your house.
Yes.
Okay. And you, Luis, what do you think would be the most fascinating aspect of that process?
I like when they begin to sweep your house.
Begin to what?
Sweep your house.
Yeah. Yeah, they have these now when they feel like home, right? They do that. So makes sense. And why?
To do less things.
Perfect. Okay. And you, Márcio, what do you think would be the most fascinating aspect of that process?
The first moment of approach, but the first time that they get confidently approached. I believe this would be the real moment of the bonding.
That's true. When they trust the human, right? Because they don't trust no one. Yeah, perfect. A nice one. Nice example. I would say that I would like to see that too. Because, for example, my cat, when he first arrived here, he didn't like me. He was really afraid of me. And then now he can't live without me. He's here in my leg right now. So, like, eles não se apegam fácil, né? Então, difficult to see that.
Interesting that you told in the last question, because appeared a little cat in the sister's house. My sister house built a little house for the cat, but the cat go out, leave the house.
It's weird that just like Cynthia said, we can't understand them. A gente não consegue entender o que passa na cabeça deles. They are completely weird, né? Muito diferente. So, let's go to question number 5. Question number 5. Imagine you are an ancient farmer relying on cats for pest control. How do you think your life would be different without their assistance? Então, você tem que imaginar que você é um fazendeiro que precisa dos gatos para o controle de pestes, né? Para pesticida. Como você acha que sua vida ia ser diferente sem os gatos? Without their assistance, sem a ajuda deles, né? Luis, let's start with you. How do you think your life would be different without their assistance?
Harder.
Harder, only that? But why? You need to explain.
Without my animals, what will I do? I don't have machines to do this, especially in that time.
That's true. It's the only thing you can count on, right? A única coisa que você consegue contar com. So that's it. Perfect. And you, Márcio, how do you think your life would be different without their assistance?
It's a hard life, it's stressful too. Because I believe that nowadays everyone looking for a natural pest control. Nowadays, with technology, another thing, but you look for the natural pest control. I think the cats. I remember that the White House look for a cat for control the rats.
True, I remember that.
Remember?
They didn't want to put chemicals because of the arts, né? Por causa das obras de arte que tinha lá. I remember that. And it's totally true, because it's a problem, né? Nowadays, o agrotóxico, essas coisas é um problema, né? And people look for a natural thing, and in the past they used cats, which don't harm at all the plants, né? Neither us, não prejudica nem a planta nem a gente. Então, that's true. Life would be harder, but if they used cats nowadays, I guess it would be easier, né? Se usassem os gatos hoje em dia, acho que até seria até mais fácil, né? But they don't use anymore. And you, Cynthia, how do you think your life would be different without their assistance?
I would be complicated because the pests would take over the grains or over the farm. They multiplicated very fast. We destroyed this area. Principalmente, but because the multiplicate fast, né? Tomariam conta, digamos assim.
That's true. Imagine if only one can own a lot of things, é só um já manda em tudo, imagine vários. That's true. Perfect. So, let's go to question number 6. If you could communicate a cat from ancient Egypt, what do you think they would teach you about their role in Egyptian culture and society? Because I guess the 3 of you have seen the video, né? Acho que os 3 viram o vídeo. Lá eles falaram um pouquinho dos gatos no Egito, né? Então, se vocês pudessem se comunicar com o gato daquela época, e se comunicar mesmo, ele te explicar as coisas, né? O que vocês acham que ele ia falar para vocês sobre o papel dele na cultura e a sociedade do Egito? It's a hard question. You need to think a lot, be creative, ser criativo aí. Let's see. Let's start with, let's see. Luiz, meow, meow, meow. Yeah, he would say that. That's true. Meow, meow, meow. Perfect. Let's start with... quem começou a outra foi o Luiz, né? Então, agora que vai começar vai ser Márcio. Márcio, what do you think they would teach you? You can't say meow, meow, meow.
No, no. The first I told about the complaint, reclamar. I believe this is superiority that cat is ready over anything must have been the fault of the Egyptians.
Yeah, they must miss it, them, right? They must miss. Eles devem sentir uma saudade danada dessa época. That's true. Perfect. Nice. And you, Cynthia, if you could communicate with a cat, what do you think they would teach you about their role there?
In the situation... como é que é a palavra? Uma situação que não existe. Faz de conta. They take me... Nossa, esqueci o que eu ia falar.
Pede ajuda pro seu filho, ele tá para te ajudar, ó.
Quer atrapalhar. I believe they take me... eu não consigo lembrar. Sinto muito. Não vem na cabeça.
You can say it in Portuguese if you want. There's no
problem. Pior que eu não lembro nem a palavra que eu ia falar, que eu estava tentando imaginar uma história para te falar, né? Para responder. Só que quando a história, você sabe, vai fugir da cabeça, né? Okay, eu não consigo lembrar, me perdoa.
Don't worry, don't worry. Vou perguntar para o Luiz, se você lembrar.
É difícil essa pergunta.
Yes, it is. Use your imagination. Gente, a gente tem que usar mais a imaginação.
Tô tentando,
a gente é criança, a
mas
gente imagina várias coisas. Don't worry, sem problema não. Mas eu gosto de incentivar a imaginação também, até para nós adultos, porque a gente não pratica isso muito, né?
Então, eu acho imaginar. E sumiu.
Don't worry, nem problema não. So, Luis, if you could communicate, what do you think they would teach you about their role there?
Just a minute.
Okay, don't worry. You can't say meow, 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 okay?
I have one question. It's still about the theme of these questions. Is what is the philosophical rock that is man who make these questions smoke?
I created those questions, but I don't smoke nothing, ok? Mas fui eu que criei. Mas, ó, você chegou aqui, você é novo aqui. Você vê, o Márcio tá aí, o Márcio vem quase sempre. Márcio, minhas imersões não são tema de maluco, Márcio? Always.
Oh, it's a zombie today? Yeah, what?
It was zombie, 7 a.m. It was zombie.
7 a.m. Zombie.
Yeah,
I was
é sempre de maluco.
I was here, but I have to go out of the meeting.
Okay, don't worry, no problem at all. Thank you, Luis. It was a pleasure.
What will I doubt to it? What you see in the Pharaoh house?
Perfect. It's a good question, right? Nice. I'll be curious to see the answer. Perfect. Cynthia, could you remember yours? Conseguiu lembrar aí da sua?
Então. Ai, não vai
Não,
ser.
não tem
Deixa
problema,
quieto.
não. No, don't worry, no problem.
Sorry.
Gente, don't worry. Gente, eu fechei já a breakout room, tá? Eles já estão voltando lá para a gente ver como é que foi com eles. Só esperar eles chegarem que a gente vai para os nossos anúncios finais. Eu sei que o tema de hoje foi um tema de doido, né? But it's nice to talk about crazy things sometimes.